The deep ocean is a realm of crushing pressure and perpetual darkness, a world where sunlight never reaches and silence reigns. For decades, this hostile environment has served as the perfect hiding spot for submarines, allowing them to slip undetected beneath the waves, shielded by the vastness and mystery of the sea. But on October 2nd, 2021, the illusion of invincibility was shattered. The USS Connecticut, a Seawolf-class nuclear-powered submarine, one of the most advanced and secretive vessels in the U.S. Navy, collided with an uncharted seamount deep beneath the Pacific. The impact was sudden and violent, sending shockwaves through the hull. 11 sailors were injured, some seriously, and the billion-dollar vessel was left crippled, its cutting-edge technology unable to prevent disaster. This incident exposed a harsh truth. Even the most advanced submarines, equipped with state-of-the-art sensors and stealth, are vulnerable to what they cannot see. The ocean, for all its secrecy, still holds dangers that technology cannot always predict. The Connecticut limped back to port, its stealth shattered and its reputation as an invisible hunter called into question. The world watched as the Navy's pride returned home, battered and exposed. The U.S. Navy was forced to admit, in front of the world, that its top-tier submarine had been blindsided by the unknown. An embarrassing and sobering moment for a force that prides itself on dominance beneath the waves. This event sent shockwaves through naval commands worldwide. Admirals and strategists everywhere were forced to reconsider their assumptions about underwater warfare and the true limits of submarine stealth. If a hidden mountain could surprise a billion-dollar submarine, what else could be lurking in the depths? The core weakness of underwater warfare has always been detection, knowing what's out there before it knows about you. Submarines rely on stealth, moving like ghosts through the water. But once found, they become vulnerable targets, hunted by enemy ships, aircraft, and now, new generations of weapons. The Connecticut's accident proved that invisibility is never guaranteed. Even the best can be caught off guard, and the consequences can be catastrophic. For decades, superpowers have invested trillions in building fleets of quiet, deadly submarines, believing them to be the ultimate strategic asset, capable of striking anywhere, anytime, without warning. But what if that advantage is about to vanish? What if new technology could find these hidden hunters from hundreds of kilometers away, rendering their stealth obsolete and changing the balance of power at sea? The shock of the Connecticut's accident was just a preview, a warning sign of a much larger disruption looming on the horizon for submarine warfare. Traditional methods of finding submarines are slow, painstaking, and often unreliable. Sonar sweeps can miss targets, and the ocean's vastness makes tracking a single vessel like finding a needle in a haystack. As submarines get quieter and more advanced, tracking them becomes exponentially harder. The silent war beneath the waves grows ever more complex. But now, a new weapon has emerged from an unexpected player on the world stage, threatening to upend the status quo. India's SMART system isn't just another missile. It's a direct challenge to the very idea of submarine supremacy. This technology could change the rules of the game forever. The era of the invisible hunter may be ending. The oceans are about to become a lot less mysterious and a lot more dangerous for submarines. Submarines have long been the great equalizer in naval warfare. Their stealth allows a single vessel to threaten vast ocean areas, disrupt shipping, and launch surprise attacks. During the Cold War, nuclear-armed submarines became the most survivable leg of the nuclear triad, guaranteeing retaliation and maintaining peace. Hunter-killer subs hunted these boomers, leading to legendary underwater duels. Today, their strategic importance has only grown. China's modern submarine force aims to keep the U.S. Navy at bay, especially around Taiwan. The U.S. counters with its own superior fleet to maintain global power projection. Submarines are the invisible chess pieces in a high-stakes game, but their value depends entirely on remaining undetected. If a submarine can be reliably found and targeted from afar, its power evaporates. The balance of naval power would be upended. India's new weapon system threatens to do just that. Sonar, sound navigation and ranging, has long been the primary tool for hunting submarines beneath the waves. It's the technological ear of the Navy, listening and searching for threats hidden in the deep ocean. Passive sonar works by quietly listening for the faintest noises, like the hum of a propeller or the whir of machinery. But today's submarines are engineered for stealth. making them almost undetectable, gliding silently through the water and evading even the most sensitive microphones. Active sonar, on the other hand, sends out a powerful ping, bouncing sound waves off objects to reveal their location. But this method comes with serious risks. Using active sonar is like shouting in a library. Everyone knows exactly where you are. The hunter's position is exposed instantly, turning the tables in a heartbeat. Enemy submarines can use that brief moment to change course, slip away, or even launch a counterattack before the hunter receives any useful information. This high-stakes gamble makes navies extremely reluctant to use active sonar during real conflicts, where stealth and surprise are everything. The dilemma is clear. How do you see without being seen? It's a constant game of cat and mouse beneath the waves. There's another cost, too. Active sonar can disorient and injure marine life, especially whales and dolphins, whose sensitive hearing is vital for survival. These powerful sound waves can cause confusion, strandings, and even death. Growing environmental concerns have sparked protests, legal battles, and strict regulations on sonar use in many parts of the world. Traditional sonar is now seen as risky, limited in effectiveness, and increasingly damaging to the ocean environment. The challenge is clear. Navies need a new way to detect submarines, one that's both stealthy and eco-friendly, without the deadly side effects. In response, Indian defense scientists set out to tackle this complex problem, determined to find a better solution. They looked beyond the limitations of traditional sonar, exploring new ideas and technologies that could change the game. The result? A completely different approach to anti-submarine warfare, one that could redefine how navies hunt for threats beneath the sea. India, facing Chinese submarine threats, chose a smarter path. Instead of brute forcing with louder sonar, India mapped the Indian Ocean's unique acoustic conditions. By understanding ocean layers and sound travel, they could predict where submarines might hide. This data-driven approach turns the ocean's complexity into an advantage. It's greener, more efficient, and reduces harmful sonar use. India listens for subtle anomalies, pinpointing likely submarine locations. But knowing where to look isn't enough. You need a weapon that can strike fast and far. Enter SMART, a revolutionary new anti-submarine weapon. SMART, Supersonic Missile-Assisted Release of Torpedo, is India's game-changing weapon. It combines a supersonic missile's speed and range with the precision of a lightweight torpedo. Here's how it works. Detect a submarine, launch SMART from a ship or land, and the missile races hundreds of kilometers at supersonic speed. Near the target, it releases a torpedo by parachute, which then hunts the submarine underwater. The submarine has almost no time to react. This standoff capability keeps Indian assets safe while threatening enemy subs from afar. SMART's long range and surprise factor upend traditional anti-submarine tactics. Indian warships no longer need to get close to attack. It's a clever, cost-effective solution to the cat-and-mouse game of undersea warfare. The hunter now strikes from beyond the horizon. The arrival of SMART fundamentally shifts the balance of naval power, introducing a new era in maritime warfare. No longer is dominance at sea determined solely by the size or stealth of a fleet. US and Chinese submarines, once considered nearly invincible beneath the waves, now face a formidable and unpredictable threat that challenges decades of naval doctrine. Traditional torpedoes, with their limited range of about 50 kilometers, forced ships to get dangerously close to their targets. In contrast, SMART can strike from over 600 kilometers away, changing the rules of engagement entirely. This means Indian warships can now hold enemy submarines at risk across the entire expanse of the Indian Ocean, projecting power far beyond their immediate vicinity. The result is a massive no-go zone for adversaries, where any hostile submarine risks sudden destruction, making vast stretches of ocean perilous. Submarine commanders, who once relied on depth and stealth to evade detection, can no longer feel secure. The ocean's depths are no longer a safe haven. Now the threat comes from a supersonic missile that can be launched from hundreds of kilometers away, not just from a nearby ship lurking on the horizon. There's virtually no warning, just a torpedo suddenly appearing in the water, homing in on its target with deadly precision. SMART's versatility allows it to be launched from both ships and mobile land batteries, creating overlapping layers of defense that are difficult to penetrate. With this technology, India transforms its entire coastline into a fortified bastion, capable of deterring even the most advanced adversaries. For China, this development threatens vital sea lanes and overseas bases, complicating its maritime ambitions and strategic calculations. For the US, it's a wake-up call. Expensive, high-tech submarines are no longer untouchable, forcing a rethink of undersea strategy. India's cost-effective weapon system can now neutralize the world's most advanced naval assets, leveling the playing field away from the The rules of undersea warfare have changed forever, ushering in a new age where technology, not just tonnage, decides who controls the seas. For China, SMART is a direct threat to its naval ambitions. China's submarines secure sea lanes and project power into the Indian Ocean, but SMART lets India monitor and control key choke points like the Malacca Strait. Chinese subs entering these waters face a preset kill zone. India's sensor networks and SMART missiles can strike from a safe distance. This undermines China's string of pearls bases and erodes their sanctuary. Beijing must now operate under constant long-range threat. India's deterrent power has never been stronger. SMART challenges not just China, but the US as well. America's undersea dominance relied on stealthy, expensive submarines. India's breakthrough shows that technological supremacy is fleeting. SMART shifts anti-submarine warfare from platform-centric to networked standoff attacks. You don't need a trillion-dollar fleet to counter submarines, just smart sensors and missiles. This strengthens the US-India partnership, but also raises concerns about proliferation. If others develop similar tech, US submarines could be at risk near any coastline. The US Navy must now adapt, developing new countermeasures and tactics. India's innovation has checked China and forced America to rethink its future. The age of the invincible submarine is ending. India's SMART system has shattered the calm of global naval strategy. Is the age of submarine supremacy over? By making it possible to find and kill submarines from afar, India has turned the lights on in the deep. The world's navies must now race to adapt, developing countermeasures, quieter subs, and new tactics. India's innovation elevates its global standing and reshapes Indo-Pacific strategy. The future may see smaller unmanned subs or swarms of underwater drones. The silent service must confront a future with no guaranteed hiding places. The ocean is no longer a sanctuary.